Have you ever questioned the reality of your existence? Could it be a mere illusion? Welcome to a journey into the depths of perception where we'll dare to question the fabric of our reality. Is what we see, touch, smell, hear, and taste the real deal? Or could it all be a grand illusion, a mirage created by our minds? Reality, as we understand it, is a complex construct shaped and molded by our perceptions. We perceive the world around us through our senses, which act as the gatekeepers of our reality. But here's the catch. Our senses are not infallible. They can often be tricked, leading to a distorted version of the world around us. Consider the simple act of seeing. Our eyes capture light, process it, and send signals to our brain, which then interprets these signals as images. But what happens when the light is bent, or when our brain misinterprets the signals? We end up seeing mirages, optical illusions, and hallucinations, phenomena that challenge the very notion of reality. Similarly, our other senses, touch, smell, hearing, and taste, can also be deceived, creating an altered perception of reality. From phantom limb sensations to auditory hallucinations, our senses can play elaborate tricks on us, making us question what's real and what's not. Moreover, our perception is heavily influenced by our past experiences, beliefs, and biases. Two people can perceive the same event differently, each constructing their own version of reality. This subjectivity of perception further blurs the line between reality and illusion. So, we find ourselves in a peculiar situation, where our perceived reality could be vastly different from the actual reality. Our senses, which we rely on to navigate the world, can sometimes lead us astray, creating an illusion of reality. So, what if we told you that everything you perceive could be an illusion? As we delve deeper into this exploration of perception, we'll challenge our understanding of reality. And perhaps, in the process, we'll discover that there's more to our existence than meets the eye. How do our brains interpret the world around us? Is it accurate, or is there more than meets the eye? The science of perception is as fascinating as it is complex. It begins with our senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. These 5 channels are constantly sending information to our brains, which then processes this data to create our understanding of the world. Think of the brain as a grand maestro, orchestrating a symphony of sensory inputs. Each sensory organ plays its part, but it's the brain that ties it all together, creating a coherent, harmonious perception of our surroundings. But here's the catch. Our perception isn't just a passive reception of information. It's an active process, a mighty feat of neural gymnastics where our brain shapes and molds the sensory data to fit our cognitive framework. Enter cognitive biases, the mental shortcuts our brains take when processing information. These biases can help us make quick decisions, but they can also distort our perception of reality. For instance, there's the confirmation bias, where we tend to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs, and ignore information that contradicts them. Or the availability heuristic, where we base our predictions and decisions on the information most readily available to us, not necessarily the most accurate or representative. Let's take the illusion of control, for example. This is a cognitive bias where we overestimate our ability to control events, leading us to perceive a sense of order where there might be none. The science of perception is a journey into the inner workings of the mind, revealing that our perception of reality is not just a product of the world around us, but also a reflection of our inner thoughts, beliefs, and biases. The mind doesn't just perceive reality, it creates it. So, as we delve deeper into the science behind perception, it becomes clear that our perception is not a mirror reflecting the real world. It is more like a lens distorting it. Is there a fine line between perception and reality, or are they one and the same? This question has intrigued philosophers, scientists, and thinkers alike for centuries. Let's delve deeper into this conundrum. Perception, as we understand it, is our brain's interpretation of the sensory information we receive from the world around us. It's the way we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. It's the way we interpret the colors of a sunset, the melodies of a song, the texture of a fabric, the taste of a fruit, or the scent of a flower. Reality, on the other hand, is what exists objectively, independent of our minds. It's the world as it is, unfiltered and unaltered by our perceptions. It's the tangible, the factual, the unchanging. It's the sun setting, the sound waves of a song, the physical properties of a fabric, the chemical composition of a fruit, or the molecules of a flower's scent. Now here's where things get interesting. Philosophical concepts like solipsism question the very nature of reality. Solipsism suggests that the only thing we can be certain of is our own consciousness, thus implying that our reality may only exist within our minds. Meanwhile, the theory of phenomenalism posits that physical objects do not exist as such but only as perceptual phenomena or sensory stimuli situated in time and space. Essentially, reality only exists when and where it is perceived. Our perception has the power to alter our reality. Have you ever noticed how a familiar room looks different when you're happy compared to when you're sad? Or how time seems to slow down when you're bored and speed up when you're having fun? That's because our emotions, thoughts, and beliefs can shape the way we perceive the world around us, thereby creating our reality. In essence, the reality that we perceive is a construct of our minds, not an objective truth. How does our perception of reality affect our daily lives and decision-making? Our perception, that distinct lens through which we view the world, wields a significant impact on our lives. It's like a personal director, subtly guiding our actions, decisions, and reactions. Each moment, consciously or unconsciously, we are interpreting the world around us, deciphering meanings and forming judgments based on our perceptions. Our perceptions shape our beliefs. They form the foundation of our understanding of the world. If we perceive the world as a harsh and unforgiving place, we are likely to believe that life is a constant struggle. On the other hand, if we perceive the world as a nurturing and supportive space, we tend to believe that life is filled with opportunities and possibilities. In the same vein, our perceptions mold our attitudes. If we perceive a situation as a threat, we approach it with caution, fear, or even aggression. If we perceive the same situation as a challenge, we approach it with determination, confidence, and resilience. Our perceptions, therefore, become the precursor to our emotions and behaviors. Moreover, our behaviors are also a mirror of our perceptions. If we perceive ourselves as incapable, we tend to avoid taking risks or venturing into unfamiliar territories. However, if we perceive ourselves as competent and capable, we are more likely to embrace new experiences and persevere in the face of setbacks. Understanding the impact of our perception on our lives can lead to personal growth and better decision-making. We can choose to challenge our perceptions, question our beliefs, adjust our attitudes, and modify our behaviors. We can learn to perceive obstacles as opportunities, failures as lessons, and uncertainties as possibilities. Our perception is our reality. Yet it is also an illusion, a construct of our mind. By acknowledging this, we can gain control over our perceptions and consequently, our reactions and decisions. We can choose to perceive the world in a way that empowers us, enriches our experiences, and elevates our lives. By understanding the illusion of reality, we can better navigate the complexities of life. Can we use the power of perception to our advantage? This question takes us to the final stretch of our exploration, where we delve into the practical side of perception. The beauty of understanding perception is that it is not static. It can be adjusted, altered, and even controlled. It's like a lens through which we view the world, and just like a camera lens, we can adjust the focus, change the angle, or even swap it out for a different one if we so choose. Consider mindfulness, a practice rooted in ancient wisdom and validated by modern science. Mindfulness is all about becoming acutely aware of our present reality, free from judgment or bias. It's about observing our thoughts and feelings, not as absolute truths, but as passing sensations. This practice can help us detach from our knee-jerk reactions and provide us the space to choose our responses. By doing so, we can control how we perceive events, ultimately influencing our reality. Then there's cognitive restructuring, a technique often used in cognitive behavioral therapy. This method involves identifying and challenging irrational or negative beliefs, replacing them with more accurate and beneficial ones. It's about catching ourselves when we jump to conclusions or when we let our emotions dictate our perception. By actively reshaping our thoughts, we can transform our perception and consequently, our reality. It's important to note that these techniques are not about denying reality or glossing over negative experiences. Rather, they're about acknowledging our power to choose how we perceive and react to life's ups and downs. Perception, with its powerful influence on our reality, is not something to be feared or avoided. Instead, it's something to be understood, embraced, and utilized. It's a tool in our mental toolbox, a secret weapon we can use to create a reality that aligns with our innermost desires and values. In the end, the power to shape our reality lies within us. It's all a matter of perception,